Good evening, everyone. This is Kevin the Switch Hippie here with another exciting episode of Rescued from the Bargain Bin here at Groovy Old Records. I had a dump of records here from two sources. I had the pawn shop down the street, and then my neighbor. He's getting rid of some records. He gave me a whole bunch of records, but we're going to go through them right quick. They're not all great, by the way, so don't think anything groundbreaking happening here. First, of course, a Grease soundtrack. A Grease soundtrack. This is 79, right? 1978 Grease soundtrack. I didn't like the movie. I think it's pop. The only song I like on here is the actual title song, Grease, which I think is a good song, but the rest of it is, I'm not a big fan of it. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I might throw that one into the bargain bin, but this is Jethro Tull. This is their A record, right? A. This is the later Jethro Tull. I don't. This is 80s kind of thing. I like the more traditional, classic Jethro Tull. It's a later album. And then I've got these. He gave me these three. These are Heart, right? I'm not a Heart fan. I don't collect the classic rock records. So this is Heart. I think this one's actually quite good. Baby Looks Strange. These other two I'm not familiar with. They're kind of their later 80s work. So I will listen and see if they're worthwhile. I don't know. Barbra Streisand, the third album. No, I am not a Barbra Streisand fan. Sorry. This is another one, Barry Manilow. No, I'm just not a fan of his. And I guess back in 1970, whatever, he might have been put on a good show, but there's just nothing in here that interests me. So here's something that does. So this guy Don Ellis, he's a big band leader, right? He does this kind of psychedelic big band stuff. I never heard of him before, and I got this record from my neighbor, and this is a good record. I put a cut below. It's a very good record, I think. I enjoyed it. I'm going to listen to some more. So this one is Sandra Kay and the New Breed. I don't know. They're one of these. This is a vanity record, right? They're a band, and they would play at your local pub, and they would sell these records or whatever. The only reason I kept this one was because it's not a great record, by the way. The only reason was the Blanket on the Ground, which is it's an old country song. It's kind of funny and silly and whatever. But anyways, Blanket on the Ground. Here, Don Williams' Expression. This is a great album. Don Williams is a great time. He's a rock guy. He's a country guy. He's everything. What a brilliant record. So I put Tulsa Time, right? Because I heard the Eric Clapton version, right? That's your rock and roll kid. You grew up in the Eric Clapton version. Seals and Crofts. This one's pretty good. This is 73 or whatever. This is a quadraphonic one. It plays on regular stereo, but you have to have a demodulator or something like that for the quadraphonic stereo if you want to utilize it. But I was never a big fan of theirs, but this record's okay. That's all right. This is I don't know what this is, like the year of the Broncos. We live in Colorado, right? So I guess the Broncos won the playoffs or the Super Bowl that year, and they put out a record. The local sports radio station KOA put out a record. So what year is this? 1977 championship season. So there you go. The Greeley Elk Choir isn't one of these because I live in Greeley, Colorado. I thought it's funny to listen to the Marvin George Memorial Elks album, see what's on here. So it's just Christmas songs. So anyways, enough of that garbage. But here's one here. This is when I bought this on Diplomat. This is, I guess, a repress of these other groups, right? Four Seasons, Tommy Rowe, Johnny Rivers, and this guy Tony Bannon. I've never heard of him, Tony Bannon. So it'll be interesting to listen to, right? And when I see people I've never heard of, I'm like, why have I never heard of these people? So Tony Bannon, I don't know what year this is. This is probably not great. This must be from the late 60s anyway, so look at that to listen to. Here's another guy you never heard of either, Lou Bond, and we produce records, which is Stax, right? It's a Stax. So he's a soul rhythm and blues kind of guy. And this is pretty good. It's kind of a softer, lots of strings and things like that. But we'll put that on here, and I'll put a couple cuts below. Tell me what you think of Lou Bond. Again, I never heard of him. Oh yeah, Fats Domino. So this is a reissue of some Fats Domino's olds, right? So it's Greatest Hits package. I don't know what year this is, but the cover's cool. That's a cool cover, and who doesn't love Fats Domino? I am gonna definitely, and it's in good condition. So I think we should be good with this one. Yeah, this is on United Artists, so obviously a reissue, So anyways, we'll listen to Fats Domino here a little bit. Here's another one. This is the Design record again, right? I think we've talked about them before, Design Records, and this is Hullabaloo All Go-Go. So you can kind of figure out what year it is when they're talking about Go-Go and Hullabaloo. Again, I think most of these are just kind of, maybe kind of unknown songs by famous stars. I mean, I never heard of, I've never heard of Gene Pitney doing that song, or Tommy Roe, or anything like that. Glenn Campbell, Ronnie Dove. I'm not familiar with those songs that those artists do, but again, it's the Design record label, right? So budgeted. So this one, here's another one. Oh no, this is actually, this one is actually quite good. This is Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. I don't have a year for this, but 1966, and it's still in the shrink wrap, right? And it's Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Away we go. So this is actually a pretty good find, I think, and the record's in good condition. So let's see if we can see what it sounds like. I haven't listened to it yet. This is another interesting one I thought was Kool and the Gang, right? Cool. I'm familiar with Kool and the Gang, right? I'm not familiar with this Kool and the Gang. So this is an old record. Delight Records. We'll do a little bit more exploring into this one too. So Delight Records. I know what year this is. Kool and the Gang. We'll check it out here in a little bit and I'll let you know. And finally, before I go right quick, yep, we got plenty of time. Good. The last one I got here for you is the London sessions for Howlin' Wolf, right? This is I had this on CD. This is the first time I've ever seen the record. It's got Steve Winwood, Eric Clapton in it, and of course it's got Bill Wyman and Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones, and of course it's got Howlin' Wolf, and he does all the great Howlin' Wolf numbers on here, right? Just a standard, classic Howlin' Wolf. Red Rooster, Do the Deuce, Sitting on Top of the World, Ain't Superstitious, and it's really good. I really like this record. I haven't listened to it because I had the CD. I'm going to listen to the record and see what the record sounds like. But there was a little surprise in here. There's always a little surprise, isn't there? This is just a single album gatefold, right? Well, somebody in their infinite wisdom decided to make it a double album, right? They're making a double album. Like, well, what's in the... So I looked in the other side of the double album, and it is the Beach Boys. Wow, what a great concert! And this is the re-release of their early Capitol Live album. And I mentioned it before. I like the Beach Boys. I love their vocals. I love the instrumentation, their arrangements. The problem is those sometimes their song selection isn't great. So while you're getting great fun, Little Deuce Coupe in my room, you're also getting crap like Long Tall Texan and Monster Mash and Papa Mama, just those kind of things that are just like, they're not interesting, right? From the Beach Boys, you want to hear more, fun, good vibration. You don't want to hear that stuff. So, anyways, I'll have to listen to this and see what it says. So, anyways, that's it for the Switch Hippie and Rescue from the Bargain Bin. Also, I have some new technology on board here, which basically means I bought a tripod, so I can use a tripod instead of putting the camera or the phone on a pile of phone books, right? I can actually be a little bit more creative with my direction. So anyways, we hope you like it. I hope you like my new tripod, and we'll hope you enjoy the records that we've had so far, and we'll see you later. Talk to you later, guys.